Well, the procedure was a success. By making an opening that perfectly matches your current brain chemistry, we have been able to completely cure you of the Wario Apparition phobia. For the next 17 hours at least.
You have no idea how relieving that is to hear. One question though. I saw a really disturbing man at the end. I've never seen him in my life. What was that?
That's definitely uncommon, but it's not out of the question since this is an opening, so you might end up seeing future events that haven't happened to you yet. Let's just try another dose.
What's going on, guys? Today we're talking about intros.
Now, if you were paying attention, you might have noticed that this was the third intro of this video. But who am I kidding? You probably weren't paying attention. It's an intro. That's what they're for.
Or you assumed it was all part of one intro. But it's my video, and I make the rules. And the rules say I played a really clever subversive trick on your mind. You see, my genius intellect smashed 3 different intros together. And I'm willing to bet most of you tuned out at least some of it. That YouTube during lunch craving brain knows the pattern by now. And you were already anticipating what comes after the intro.
Well, I got bad news for you, bucko. Today we're gonna stop and smell the roses. That's right, we're not making it past the intro in this video, because that's what it's all about, baby.
And when you start to look around a little bit, you start to realize how much the intro can do. Something I feel we've been neglecting for a while now. Back in the good old days, everything you watched had a little jig at the title sequence, full of whimsy and life.
Nowadays, the best we get is, I put 45 orphans on an island, and I guess I can only criticize that kind of intro so much. I'm also a YouTuber, and I understand how having an absolutely insane first 10 seconds of a video can help.
But I don't want to talk about those intros. I want to talk about the real stuff. The OPs, the theme songs, the outros for Bowser's sake.
Think of the openings that pump you up, or deflate you, or make you nostalgic. The ones that make you feel something.
I think anime is a good place to start, because say what you will about the medium, those dudes can put together a funky intro.
Anime openings are a whole beast unto themselves. YouTubers make 45-minute breakdowns for a single opening, and for good reason. These things are dense. More often than not, every frame is packed with something. Awe-inspiring art, jaw-dropping animation, clever references, and surprisingly often straight-up character death spoilers.
Sometimes the openings follow a pretty predictable formula, especially with shonen shows. Main character looks at the sky, the rival fades in, they clash. Side characters are shown doing goofy hijinks. Tease the arc's villain. Combat montage, the main character facing the main villain, title drop.
You get this in your Narutos and your Black Clovers and such, and I'm gonna be honest, these might be predictable, but they go hard. And it gets better. A lot of action anime stick to that formula, but so many break the mold in surprising ways. You have the pure artistry happening in JJKOPs that make me scared to walk on the streets of a city on the other side of the world. The bonkers visuals of Mob Psycho 100 that really make you feel like you're having an epileptic seizure. And whatever the heck is going on in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the list goes on.
This is without even mentioning the music, which lots of anime have made a habit of incorporating to the show's score, making the theme song much more than a minute and 30 seconds of intro. It's as much part of the artistic package as the animation or the music or the acting.
We could go on mentioning things like Cowboy Bebop, Beastars, and plenty of non-shonen shows like Love is War. But you get the point. The point is that anime openings are art.
You know what's better than art?
It's not even like he's that good. He's just
Bazinga!
Here in the West, we take our intros a little bit differently. Just worst, mostly. Okay, we don't really mean that. There's plenty of outstanding intros from Western TV, but they feel notably different. Western animation feels the closest to what we saw with anime, and even then, those songs are doing their own thing.
Almost without fail, it's a catchy song with as many exciting visuals as possible. To be clear, there's nothing wrong with this. It can be a lot of fun to watch. I like the Clarence one.
Shows like dramas and sitcoms usually focus on showing what the characters are about, and showing actors viewers might know in order from most to least famous. Their goal is less about overall artistry and more about viewer retention. When the channel flips, these openings are supposed to keep you from flipping to the movie channel and watching the last 30 minutes of the Smurfs. It's glorified marketing. Sometimes the theme song is literally a title for no longer than 20 seconds.
And sometimes it's just a previously on, a sin worse than watching Smurfs. This glorified marketing actually can be pretty good. It just has clearly different goals. Some of the best of these take an extra step to try and set the vibe, like in Friends or another one, I don't know. I just needed a transition.
No one told you life was gonna be this way. Your job's a joke you broke, your love life's the
Again! I saw him again!
Son, calm down. Now tell me exactly what you saw.
It was a sitcom this time. All my friends were there. Even the alien. And I haven't seen him in forever. But the creepy guy was there too. And he's getting creepier.
Sitcoms. Now that's concerning to me. So we're gonna lay off the treatment for now, and I'm gonna order some more labs. But for the time being, you are gonna have to deal with your Wario Apparition phobia.
There's no Wario. No Wario. There's no Wario. There's no Wario here. No.
You know how we said people ignore the intros? Well, that's extra true for the outros.
Outros are an interesting case, and it's disappointing that people skip them, but it's not really a mystery as to why. Depending on the show, outros are usually a credit roll with some instrumental music. If you watch them on TV, they got shrunk and shoved all the way in the corner so Billy Mays could have as much screen time as possible.
But most of the time, we're not missing anything. Most of the time. Because once again, for whatever reason, anime decided it was imperative to make the part where we show the credits as exciting as possible.
Sometimes they make entirely new sequences that could honestly pass for an opening, and sometimes they get a little weird.
I can't get you out of my mind. Sexy, you'll be alright.
Anime outros are by far the most creative of the bunch. The same cannot be said for American entertainment. I want you to close your eyes and imagine what the outro to Breaking Bad is like, or Phineas and Ferb, or Better Fuel Hill. I guarantee you can't picture it in your head because it didn't leave an impact. It wasn't special or unique.
Then there's live action kid shows like Good Luck Charlie or Jessie that don't have an outro at all. A riff from the intro plays, a couple producer slides flash, and then it's on to the next one. These shows are made for cable television, and it's clear the goal is to be brief so toddlers don't change the channel. Western children's animation is similar in its taste, but not as extreme, usually having a generic backdrop with credits quickly flashing through.
The main reason these Western outros are different from Japanese ones is because, once again, the purpose they're trying to fulfill seems very different. Anime outros not only bring cohesion in the sense that now you know it's over, it also intends to make you feel something.
Maybe the same could be said for Western shows, but it feels like they're much more focused on getting you to the next episode, over adding to the general vibe of the show.
Hey man, how's that stuff with the doctor going? I mean, I've heard it's been bad.
Yeah, I mean, we took the treatment, but it made me see this guy Jeff from the future, I think, or something. So, back to being haunted by Wario.
Okay, listen man, I know this doesn't help, but Wario isn't real. He can't hurt you.
You want fun? Wario show you fun.
You're not real!
So what's the point? If a theme song's fate is to be forgotten, why exist at all?
Even with the best openings, after I've seen it a few times, I don't necessarily pay attention to it anymore. Some people straight up skip the openings after they've gotten used to them. These people deserve death by lobster gun.
So why bother paying attention? I'll tell you why. The emotion. Whether we're talking about Demon Slayer or Robot Jones, the openings and endings of these shows are doing more work than you'd initially think. The best of these can really set the tone of the episode, or leave you emotional, eager for the next one.
And Attack on Titan is a masterclass at this. Openings 1, 2, and 3 all hype you up. They make you feel patriotic for a country that isn't even real. This feeling is perfect for what the show is trying to do during those seasons.
Everything's about Man v Titan, a fight for survival and hope. But then opening 4 hits, and it hits hard in a different way.
Like a falling angel.
In a complete contrast to everything prior, you're hit with these notes and images that make you feel a sort of happy sad. In the same way as a memory of a birthday party, happy it happened, but sad because you'll never be in that moment again.
Because of how different it is, it's common to dismiss the opening on your first viewing. But when fans finish a series and watch it again, the common consensus flips on its head. Go into any comment section of the opening, and you'll see documented accounts of people describing these new feelings. But this didn't happen by accident. The show wants you to feel this way.
In fact, this part of the show exists in a sort of liminal period between what we know to be normalcy and the impending doom that awaits us. And from this point on in the show, things will never be simple again.
Opening 5 throws us back into the action, using the same exact riff from opening 1. The main difference being how frantic and ominous the same notes are being played. This also completely tracks based on how the story is going, with the heroes making a final push to escape the horrors of the island, fighting every threat they know exists all at once.
Opening 5 is the beginning of the end, but opening 6 is what really flies us off the rails. It feels sinister, like you're about to uncover true evil, and that's really the only way I can describe the rest of the show without spoilers. But then finally, opening 7 plays right as you've made the realization of what is about to happen.
Attack on Titan is a descent from heroics to horror, where characters that were once idealistic youths fighting for freedom are now, well, war criminals.
And the crazy thing is, we not only see this progression tracked in the intros, but I believe the intros played a large part in shaping this perception. If Attack on Titan were to stay with the bombastic, exciting openings the entire time, I would imagine the main cast's evolution would seem much more like a typical action show.
It plays much more of a role than you think. Can you imagine watching King of the Hill and this was the theme song? Even if the episode was exactly the same, your expectations of said episode would be wildly different. It might even recontextualize the entire show, convincing you there's something going on under the surface, when in reality it's just King of the Hill.
Openings and endings are undervalued and in some cases underproduced. We take them for granted, which is a real shame. I cannot tell you how many times I've randomly paid more attention to an opening or ending and found some amazing details. It got to the point where a new opening is one of the most exciting parts of any show for me.
Next time you watch an episode of Vinland Saga or Young Sheldon, take a second and really look at the opening. I'm willing to bet that it will not only add to the episode as a whole, but you might find content you've never seen before.
Watch the ending too, if it has one.
I thought I was a goner.
Hey! You were a part of that experimental procedure.
Have you seen the Jeff?
What is the Jeff? That's the Jeff!
Whatever you're gonna do, just do it already.
What is happening?
You want fun? Wario show you fun.
Do you know who I am?
The Jeff?
No, I'm the End.
The End!
As for you, Wario,
Oh no!
you've been retconned.
What?